We do have a Biden border invasion update for you. Our very own Anthony Aguero found something very disturbing near the border and captured it on video to bring you exclusive footage. The moment where he actually came upon a child trafficking encampment. Heartbreaking.
For those that say that we're not out here on the tail of these people trafficking children, little kid clothing, little girl clothing, little boy clothing, little girl clothing, little girl shoes, little girl sandals, another woman's sandals, little boy jacket, little girl tennis shoes, little girl hat, little girl jacket, little girl undies, baby blankets, baby blankets, baby blankets, baby jackets, pacifiers, baby bottles, baby bottles. This was a child encampment, guys, where they were keeping the babies. There's the disposable gloves, latex gloves. This is a child encampment. This is child trafficking, and your government is complicit. And they know about this, guys. They have security guards taking care of the electric plant that is right behind us, and they've known about this. Even before we were tipped off by Mike to come out here, they've known about this. They are complicit, and they should be facing some kind of criminal penalty for allowing this to continue, especially for every child that was put in these situations. God knows where these kids ended up, guys.
So disturbing. Those children have been kidnapped, sold, exploited, raped, and their lives destroyed because Joe Biden wanted open borders and votes and power and money more than he cares about little children. And let me add to that, little brown children. These are not white children. No one's calling this racist, but this is the largest slave trade in human history. And it is a white man. I'm just going to say it like they'd say it on The View, and I am not an identity politics person. It is a white man who has brought this on to brown people. And history will not forget this.
That's where we want to welcome in Anthony Aguero. Anthony, first off, tell us how you came upon this encampment. It is just so disturbing to see you pick up those items. It just makes it more real for all of us here at home. But tell us more about it and where it is.
So because we started realizing that some of the numbers in Texas kind of started coming down a little bit, we started doing research to see if there was other breach points and areas in which people were coming over in large numbers. I started reaching out to some of my contacts, and we were able to figure out that in this area down here near San Diego, there is a unincorporated community called Jacumba. Jacumba is a small community that was primarily consisted of lower income families and retirees, elderly retirees. That community, since for a while, has now been taken over basically by hipsters, by hippies almost. And so there, since in that area, there is a very small fence, and in that immediate area as well, the actual border wall stops. It almost seems like if they ran out of money to continue construction. And so where we found this camp at was only a few 100 feet away from the actual border wall where it stands. The terrain in that area gives people south of the border 100% advantage over the United States because there are mountains in which they come up on from Mexico, and they're able to overlook into the United States. The way this particular encampment, which is only one of three, by the way, I will be sharing more footage with our team here just momentarily. There are actually 3 encampments just like this, consisting predominantly of people from Afghanistan, India, and Peru. There was even people in that group from Tajikistan and from Colombia, as we were being told. Now, in this particular area, the wall ends, and so the organized crime has complete control of the area. Myself and Michael Leon were out there as well yesterday, and we heard gunshots. We had to get out of the area because there was gunshots going off right next to where we were actually trying to do more reporting out on the field. And so we had to move away from that area. But that is actually one of the encampments that is right behind a huge power plant. And that power plant actually hired private security to take care of the power plant. But these individuals were camping out there. They were having cookouts. And the hipsters that took over Jacumba have fundraised money. And of course, the bleeding heart liberals came out. They have pallets of water. And so they are helping sustain and maintain this flow of migrants. One of the other camps that we visited, upon us arriving, we could almost tell that they took off the minute that they heard our vehicle approaching them, because there was fresh signs and footprints and water bottles that had just been opened and used out there. So these campsites are still very much active. And like I said, they have full advantage over the U.S., over the Border Patrol agents, because they are able to see up from a distance. And on this footage, we are being told that the kids were being tucked away into these huts. The way it was laid out is, as you're driving into that area, you would encounter the grown males, family units, and the kids were way back towards the canyon, where they would be able to make a quick getaway and possibly retreat to Mexico if needed. People were coming back and forth from Mexico into the United States, back to Mexico for over a week out there. And so these camps are still active, and they're supposed to be cleaning them up here in the next couple of days, from what we're being told.